elephant in the room as to why I am filming an unboxing regarding makeup. So another part of me does enjoy playing around with makeup, applying it, seeing it, touching it, swatching it. I do have that love for it, but I am not trying to become a beauty guru by any means. But I recently bought this palette and I was like, I want to talk about it. I want to, I don't know, I just want to do something else instead of just taking a picture and posting it on my Instagram stories or on Snapchat. I don't have any sisters that I can talk to about makeup, and I don't have any friends that love makeup as much as I do. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I just wanted to make it, and maybe I can chat a little bit about makeup with you guys. I figured might as well just talk to a camera for a little bit and chat about makeup, share this palette with you guys, and I really do enjoyed making it, and I hope that you like this video too. I am a little bit nervous about putting this video out there. If it is up already, then I figured why not, and I just uploaded it. But I am a little bit nervous about sharing this video just because I know that in the beauty world you kind of like there's a lot of people that expect perfection when it comes to makeup videos and so on. So I am gonna make mistakes. This is my first makeup related video. I am nervous about it, but let's just do it. I really hope that this video is helpful to you. If you do want to jump ahead, then I'm gonna leave a timestamp so that you can just jump ahead and ignore all of this, and you can just jump straight into the swatches and so on. So here is the palette. It's the Soft Glam Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I am in love with this palette. It's absolutely beautiful. I really do love it, and I've been a fan. I don't know why, but I'm just drawn to Anastasia's palettes. I do have the Modern Renaissance right here, which matches my shirt. So I do have it right here with dog hair. Like everyone, I'm not a big fan of the velvet like texture on it because it does get very dirty. This is my Modern Renaissance palette. It's well loved. I used it on my wedding day. I did my own makeup and I wore this one. I absolutely adore it. And I do have the Prism palette as well. My makeup is usually very simple, so I figured why not get a bold palette like this one for some evening looks, or when I'm just feeling like doing something a little bit more edgy and more outside of the box. So I figured why not get this palette. I was really drawn into the colors. I loved this purple right here. Throne is absolutely gorgeous. So I figured why not get this one too. And Subculture, of course, I skipped over because of all of the like conflicting reviews that I was getting. So I was like, I don't want to risk spending the $42 on something and then not love it, not use it, not know how to use it, and then just have it laying around there. And I don't really like returning makeup, so I was like, I'm not gonna risk it. So like I said before, I am wearing the Soft Glam palette right now. I absolutely love the look that I was able to come up with. And I just have to say that this is the best, the closest formula to the Modern Renaissance palette. It is very easy to blend, it's super pigmented, and it's very close to that palette. Now we know that the Modern Renaissance does have a little bit of fallout. It does, you do have to be very careful when it comes to like dipping your brush in it and not swirl it, because if you swirl in here and in this palette, you are gonna get a lot of fallout. So you just have to dip your brush in this one as well. You don't want to swirl it, and you're gonna get so much pigment and it blends like a dream. Especially on these top three shadows right here, rose pink, sultry, and bronze. You don't want to be too aggressive with them. They are a little bit soft, so you don't want to be aggressive with those. Not so much with glistening and fairy, although they are shimmers. They're not as soft as these three. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about my look right now, of what I'm wearing in my eyes. What I did is I applied tempera right over here, which is the same tempera as you have in your Modern Renaissance palette. I applied that one all over my lid just as a base. And then what I did is I used burnt orange and sienna on my crease. And then from there I really wanted to play with this one right over here, Mulberry. It's a stunning color. It reminded me a lot of red ochre, but it's more, it's deeper and it has more brown in it. It's between a burgundy and close to a brown, like almost like touching it to a brown. I really loved that, and I loved that they included noir in here as well, because I've heard wonderful things about the single shadow, so I'm so glad that they have it in there. So I applied that one and citrus umber on my outer corner right here, outer third of my eye, and I applied it underneath as well. And then I went in with rose pink all over my lid with my finger. I usually apply shimmers with my fingers, and again, I only had to like touch the shadow and apply it on my lid, and it went beautifully, super pigmented. And then I went back in with Sultry and I just applied it to like the outer third of my lid. And then I also really wanted to try bronze because it's a stunning gold in this palette. So I went in with bronze and I just applied it to my bottom, like inner portion of my eye, because I did want to create something with my lid. I was like torn between rose pink and bronze for my lid, so I just decided to do rose pink because it matched my outfit, and I used bronze for my bottom, like inner corner right there. Not inner corner, but like in the bottom and like this part right here. Now for the inner corner of my eye, I went in with Fairy because it's a lighter gold and it matched very well. And then glistening I used for my brow bone right there. So yeah, that's the look that I created with Soft Glam, and I was gonna do it on camera, but I just figured that it would be better for me to show kind of like my first reactions to the palette, show the unboxing and the swatches. And there's already a lot of videos out there with makeup tutorials on it, and they have better quality, they have better technique, and so on. So maybe when I have like a better camera, better lighting in here, I don't know, I just want to give you guys a better quality makeup tutorial. But I am gonna leave other people's videos right here in the description box below, so you can see kind of like what other people have done with the palette as well. I think it goes without saying that this video is not sponsored by ABH by any means, and that this palette was purchased by myself and I absolutely love it. I couldn't wait to open it and just share it with you guys. I got it like a week ago and I was just sitting here in my room and I was like, I want to use it so bad. So I am gonna be using this so often. It's right up my alley for everyday looks, for everyday going to work looks with these right here. And then if I want to go in more sultry for nighttime, a little bit more sexy looks, that I can use these ones for sure. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to this video. If you want to see the unboxing, swatches, and all of that, first impressions about the Soft Glam ABH palette, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so here is the box. I've obviously covered up my address and I've already opened it just so that I wouldn't do that on camera. I have the return slip here, so obviously I think it goes without saying that I did purchase this myself. And this video is not sponsored, obviously. This is the paper that it comes in with. And ladies and gentlemen, there it is. And this is what she looks like. She looks pretty intact. As soon as I opened it, here is all of the information on the back. I'm so sorry, my fingers are kind of dirty. They always have paint and markers and what have you on there. So here is the back of my box. All of the ingredients are listed on there, and it says an everyday to night palette with 14 shades, including essential matte and glam shimmers. And it says it's good for up to 18 months. It has a shelf life of 18 months, but of course, as we all know, we can use makeup far longer than that and nothing will really happen. But it's just, I think, like a warning on there. So here it is. Now let's open her up. We are going to open her from the side. I am so excited. And she looks nice and clean. She looks nice and clean. It's the same velvet material as all others, as the Modern Renaissance, Subculture, Prism, and all of that. And we open her up and she is intact, thank goodness. Here is a protective little plastic on there. I'm gonna take that off. Here is all of your colors on there. It's an absolutely stunning palette. I'm going to zoom you guys a little bit closer just so that you can take a really good look at all of the shades on there. And as always, it comes with a little brush, which I actually do use often. It's a really good brush. I really do like it, and it is very helpful. So I've kept all of mine, and they are part of my collection because they are very nice brushes. So here it is, and now we can go ahead and get started with our swatches. Okay guys, so for swatches, I am starting out with clean skin. I don't have any primers or any concealers of any kind. It's just clean bare skin that I'm gonna start out with. Yes, I have hair on my arms and I don't like it either, but I think we can look past it. So we are gonna start out with just finger swatches, and then from there, we're gonna move on to brush swatches. And for the brush, I am going to be using the brush that comes in the palette. I'm going to be using this flat side for it. And in between uses, I'm going to be using this mat that I got at Target. And it's the mat that I use to clean out my brush in between uses. It's kind of like a color switch. So that's the one that I'm going to be using. And then to clean out my arm in between set of swatches, I'm going to use some Neutrogena makeup wipes. Alright, so we're first going to start out with finger swatches, and I'm going to be going from left to right on the top row. So I'm going to leave it here so you can see that I'm not like digging in the pants. And I'm going to start out with Tempera, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go right over here. So this is Tempera. Then we're going to go into glistening, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And there is glistening right there. And then we're going to go into orange soda with a different finger. And we're going to go like that. And then we're going to move on to rose pink. I am wiping out my fingers in between uses, so I'm going to go into rose pink. And it is very soft, as you can see. But it's super pigmented. Now with clean fingers again, I'm gonna go into Sultry, the one next to it. And again, these feel very soft. So I'm gonna go right next to it. Like that. And no pressure at all. You can get beautiful color. So I can only imagine like putting these on your lid with your fingers. It's gonna be so beautiful. And now we're gonna move on to the top right there, and that's Mulberry. Holy moly. Now we're gonna go right next to it. Beautiful. Imagine these three combined. Stunning. And then with that one too. Okay, so this is our top row. We have Tempera, we have Glistening, we have Orange Soda, Rose Pink, Sultry, and I skipped to Bronze, and this is Mulberry. So let's go ahead and do Bronze before I move on. Okay, so with my middle finger right here, I'm gonna go into Bronze. Oh my god, these are super, super soft. So look at that. Like I dipped in, and you can really see how much pigment you can get out of it. So you want to be very gentle when dipping into these. And now we're going to swatch on the next one. Just go like this. And I mean, how stunning is that? So pretty. I can only imagine just doing this color all over your lid and then going around with this one. Very beautiful. We have our entire first row right here. We have Tempera, Glistening, Orange Soda, Rose Pink, Sultry, Bronze. bronze, and mulberry right here. So this is our entire top row. Now I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off with a Neutrogena makeup wipe, and we're gonna move on to our second row. All right, now that we're nice and dry, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our second row, which are these beautiful guys right here, and these are more mattes, and we only have one shimmer in here. Okay, so here is Dusty Rose, and we're gonna start here. There's that. Now we're gonna move on to Fairy. There is she, and we're gonna do next to her. And then we have Burnt Orange, which we do have in our Modern Renaissance palette right here. Go right there. There she is. And we're gonna go right next to her. Same beautiful color. Let's compare it to the Modern Renaissance one. I'm gonna go right in here to my Burnt Orange. There she is. We're gonna go just right next to her. Woo! These palettes are very soft, and it looks like the Modern Renaissance one was kind of more pigmented than that one, because it did take like a few, like less stroke to get all of that pigment out of there. So I mean, the Modern Renaissance has had a lot of fallout from the beginning because they are very soft, but they're super easy to blend. They blend like a dream. That's why they are my favorite. So now we're gonna move over to Sienna right there. And this is Sienna, and in our Modern Renaissance palette, we have Raw Sienna, and they're very different colors from each other. So we are going to go ahead again with clean fingers. We're going to go into Sienna. There she is, and we're going to go right next to the last one, right there. Again, these are not as soft as Modern Renaissance, but they are still very, very pigmented. I'm so far like super happy with the color payoff. I haven't done a look with it. I haven't used it on my eyes, but I will after this unboxing, and then I'm gonna record the intro. So we'll find out, and I'll let you know how these blended out, and you're gonna see what look I was able to create with them. So we're now going to go into Rustic right here. There she is. And we're going to go right next to it. Like that. There she is. And then we're going to go into Cypress Umber, which we do have in our Modern Renaissance right over here. And I'm going to do the same thing and just swatch both of them. Here is Cypress Umber. Holy shoot. We're gonna go right next to it right here. Very beautiful. And now with my middle finger, I'm gonna go into the Modern Renaissance. Right there. Same color. Same texture, same payoff, pretty much identical because it is the same shade. So there you go. Okay, so last but not least, we have Noir right here. And I do want to compare it to the black that we have in the Anastasia Prism palette, which is Obsidian right over here. So we're going to take Noir and swatch it first, which I was very excited to get in this palette because I've heard wonderful things about the single shadow, and I hadn't gotten a chance to get around to buying it, so I was very glad to get it in this palette. Here is Noir, and we're just gonna go right over here. Let's see if we can build that up. there. That's Noir. And now we're gonna do Obsidian from the Prism palette. So this is Noir and this is Obsidian. I feel like Obsidian is way darker. Yep. So now let's swatch it next to it. And there she is. And they swatch pretty much the same. All right, so here is the bottom row of the Soft Glam palette. In here we have Dusty Rose, we have Fairy, we have Burnt Orange from the Soft Glam palette, and we have Burnt Orange from the Renaissance palette. Then we have Sienna, then we have Rustic, Cypress Umber from the Soft Glam palette, Cypress Umber from the Renaissance palette. Then we have Noir, and we have Obsidian from the Prism palette. Okay, so we're now gonna wipe all of that off, and we're gonna do our brush swatches. And I'm not gonna do any comparisons, I'm just gonna go straight into the palette just for time's sake. I'm gonna wipe that clean, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so for brush swatches, I'm gonna try and do the entire palette in one arm and see how that works. And we're gonna start out with a clean brush, and we're gonna go into Tempera first, which you do pick up fallout from just dipping in, but that's kind of the same case as with the Modern Renaissance, so it doesn't bother me. So we're just gonna go right here and do that. There it is. It's just a nice all over the lid color. Then we're gonna do Glistening. Right there. Then we have Burnt Orange. Right there. Now we're gonna go into Rose Pink. You pick up tons of product with that one. You pick up a lot of shadow. So we're gonna go right next to the last one. Holy moly. So you do want to go in with a light hand with that one. It is super pigmented and it looks very, very pretty. Next, we're gonna go into Sultry. Right there. And we're gonna go next to it. There she is. She's clean. Next, we're gonna go into Bronze. So you do, again, these are very soft, this trio right here, but they're super pigmented. Holy smokes. Do you see that? These are the prettiest shimmers that I've ever had with an Anastasia palette. I love these so much. So far. So we're gonna go now into Mulberry. And we're gonna go right next to Bronze. So nice. Right there. Now we're going to go into our second row, which is Dusty Rose. It's not as fallout-ish as Tempera. We're going to go right here. Very pretty. Now we're gonna go into Fairy. Right here. Then we're gonna go into Burnt Orange. And then we're gonna go into Sienna. Okay, then we're gonna go into Rustic. Right there, and as you can see, I dipped in twice. I did dip in twice just to get an even swatch. So that just means that you'll be able to get better opacity if you go in twice, and you can layer the color on top of it. Like that. Then we're gonna go into Cypress Umber. She's clean. We're gonna go into Cypress Umber. 1, 2, 3. And like with the Modern Renaissance, that's how I usually go in with shadows. I just like tap the brush in there because they are dusty. Then we're gonna go next to that with Cypress Umber. And last but not least, we're gonna go into Noir. Dip in. There you go. Now let's see if we can layer a little bit more color. Which looks like you can. It's a very buildable black. And this is the entire palette from beginning to end with the Soft Glam palette. So from the beginning, we have Tempera, we have Glistening, we have Orange Soda, Rose Pink, Sultry, Bronze, Mulberry, Dusty Rose, Fairy, Burnt Orange, Sienna, Rustic, Cypress Umber, and Noir. So from here, what I'm gonna go do is build a look out of it. I'm gonna go do my makeup, build a really pretty look with it, and just come back, do the intro of this video, and let you guys know how it blended, how it applied, if they're behaving well. And I'm gonna let you guys in on all of the details, further details from the palette. And yeah, so far so good. I mean, I've never been disappointed with the swatches as far as the Anastasia palettes go, but we all know the thing that differentiated between these palettes and the whatchamacallit, the Subculture palette was the blending. The Subculture palette, I saw a lot of different reviews, conflicting reviews on it, and that's what kept me from buying it. But we're gonna go see, I'm gonna go do my makeup, and we'll be right back. And that is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, this is not gonna take away from my usual paintings and art tutorials in this channel. This was just a video for fun. I really hope you enjoyed that and that you don't mind me incorporating a little bit of makeup tutorials here and there in my channel, because I just want to create content in this channel that makes me happy. And if talking about makeup makes me happy, then I really want to film a lot more of these. Again, I don't want to become a makeup guru expert by any means. There's already tons of those that you can watch, but I just want to chat about makeup. Like literally, that's the entire point of me filming this video. I just want to chat, kiki with the girls, and just talk a little bit about makeup. Hope that's okay. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. Let me know if you like this palette, if you got it, if you're thinking about getting it, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time, hopefully on my next